A warm welcome to all my dear students. This session is the continuation of your last science video, chapter 4, heat. Before going into the topic, let's have a recap on what we have learned in the last video. In our daily life, we come across a number of objects, either hot or cold. We can't always touch and check whether an object is hot or cold. For that, a reliable measure is there, that is temperature. Temperature is usually measured in degrees Celsius. Thermometers are the device that are used to measure temperature, and they are of two types, clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer. Clinical thermometers are used to measure human body temperature. This is a clinical thermometer, and you can see that it is made up of a uniform glass tube, and there is a bulb at one end that is filled with mercury. So while measuring temperature, the mercury level will rise and up and will indicate the correct temperature. And the temperature range of a clinical thermometer is usually from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius, because average human body temperature does not go below 35 or above 42. So that is why clinical thermometers are designed in this particular range. So the topics that will be covered in this video will be about laboratory thermometer and transfer of heat. So laboratory thermometers, in the last video we have seen that they are thermometers that are used to measure temperature of other objects such as water. It is same as that of a clinical thermometer, but in some specific cases. That is, the temperature range of a laboratory thermometer is from minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. And it has again a bulb containing mercury right here, and that when we measure temperature, that mercury level will rises up and will show you or indicate you the correct temperature. Now let's see how to read temperature by using a laboratory thermometer. Here we are using boiling water and we are dipping the laboratory thermometer into it. And please make sure that the bulb here should be immersed in the boiling water, does not touch the bottom or side of the beaker. And you can see that the mercury level just rises up, and here it is showing as 100 degrees Celsius, and does not take the thermometer out of the boiling water to take the temperature. This is the image that while I got by dipping laboratory thermometer into ice cold water. We can see that the mercury level has risen up to 0 degrees Celsius. The temperature reading should be take place while the thermometer is in the water. Now a question, that is it possible to measure body temperature using laboratory thermometers? This will arise in your mind. But obviously the answer is no, because we know that while measuring or taking the temperature, we have to take the thermometer out of your mouth to read the reading. But there is a chance that the mercury level will fall. That's why the clinical thermometers are designed in such a way that there is a kink right there that prevents the mercury level from falling down. And that makes clinical thermometer different from a laboratory thermometer except that particular kink. Another difference we have already discussed is that the temperature range is from minus 10 to 110 degrees Celsius in case of laboratory thermometer, whereas in clinical, which is usually used to measure human body temperature, it ranges from 35 to 42 or 43 degrees Celsius. Now let's get into these two images. We can see that a hot tea and an ice cube. The hot tea is giving away its heat to its surroundings, and this ice cube is actually melting because the heat from the surrounding is absorbed by the or is getting passed into the ice cube. That's the reason why ice melts. So in the both cases, the heat is getting transferred from a hotter object to a colder object. So the next topic that we are going to learn is transfer of heat. The flow of heat always takes place from a hot object to a cold object, and it actually takes place in different ways. So let's see each way one by one. So let's do this particular activity. Here an iron rod is getting heated up by using a burner. So here the heat is getting transferred to this particular position of iron rod. Say it as X. Now the heat is getting transferred to this colder portion of the iron rod. Say it as Y. So the heat energy is getting transferred from a hotter portion to a colder portion. So this type of heat transfer through direct contact from a hot object to a cold object can be termed as conduction. Say for another example, we are actually heating a frying pan. A man is trying to hold that particular handle but he is not able to do it. Why? Because the heat from this particular portion is getting transferred to this handle, isn't it? That's why the man is not able to hold the handle, because now it has got a burning effect. So heat is getting transferred from this hotter portion to this colder portion of the frying pan. So that process can be called as conduction. So the process of flow of heat from a hot object to a cold object, especially in solids, we can term it as conduction. Let's see these two categories. In the first category, you can see copper, gold, aluminum, and this is the second category, which is include wood, plastics, styrofoam, etc. So this particular category has the ability to conduct heat or ability to pass through the heat. Such objects can be termed as conductors, whereas wood, plastic and all, they won't allow heat to pass through. Such objects can be termed as insulators. So based on convection, objects can be classified into conductors and insulators. Let's see another example. Here we are actually heating up a liquid. In this we can see the heat is getting transferred from this burner to the bottom of the pan, isn't it? So the liquid lying in the bottom of the pan will get heated up and their density becomes lower. So such water molecules will have the ability to move up, and the denser molecules that are lying above here will be moving down, thus forming a convectional current. So the warm molecules right from here will move up, and colder molecules or water molecules that are lying here, which are more denser, will move down, and then they again get heated up. And this process get continued until the whole water is getting heated. So this type of heat transfer where a convectional current is occurring can be termed as convection. So the transfer of heat in liquids and gases is called convection. You may notice that people sitting near firewood are getting heat. So here heat is getting transformed in the form of waves. Such process of heat transfer can be termed as radiation. This is another example. Here the heat energy from the sun is reaching the earth through the process of radiation. Radiation does not require any particular medium. Every hot body radiates and becomes cool. So let's sum up what we have learned in this particular video. So there are three types of heat transfer system, that is conduction, that is the transfer of heat energy from one substance to another through direct contact. Through this pan to this particular handle, actually that conduction is occurring. In convection, the liquids are getting heated up by a convectional current. In radiation, we can see that the energy is getting transmitted in all ways. That means the radiation requires, it can, or the radiation occurs in any medium. Hope you have understood the video. So what you have to do is you have to find examples from real life where you will find different ways of transfer of heat. So see you till the next video.